All right, man. This video, we're gonna watch Hugh Jackson's press conference that he did probably yesterday or a few days ago or whatever, speaking about the upcoming game and see who he's probably gonna put at quarterback. And before I get into this video, man, let me say this. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It was tough. It was tough to watch football last night. South Carolina State, how they got beat by UCF, how Alabama A&M with all those transfers that they had and them looking how they looked, it was oh man. And then okay, so I know that Valley State only lost by like what 2 touchdowns or whatever, right? But they lost to a team that's just 2 years removed from Division 2. And like, look, at least that was a good game. You know what I'm saying? Valley State put up a good fight. But then I try to watch the game. Well, I try to keep up with Virginia Union and Lynchburg. Dog, if that's how Lynchburg is coming, they're gonna have a long season. And to be quite honest, that might that might have been the easiest team on their schedule. Y'all figure out what the score is for that game. But we're gonna watch the press conference, man, with Hugh Jackson. So we're gonna see what he's talking about.
For Arkansas and play the Arkansas State football team. We need to play somebody different than ourselves, and this is the first game on our schedule, so we're looking forward to it. So we're anticipating a big crowd there at Arkansas State, and we're anticipating a good turnout for us. I think we travel pretty well. People
I
come to
hope.
see what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish, and so we're looking forward to it.
Coach, obviously we were just all joking about it right here, but been a quarterback competition. You prepared to name a starter?
Not today. I think we're close. But at the same time, again, until I've talked to the players and had a chance to meet with them, will I put that information out.
I have a pretty good idea of who he may choose. Not just from I've been getting words around, right? I've been snooping around and kind of asking around who they think will be the starter. There's two guys, and one of them I'm actually shocked about. I'm actually surprised he wasn't even in camp. So I'm surprised about. But yeah, I'm one of them. I'm absolutely shocked
Oh,
about.
absolutely. I'm very happy with those guys. They've worked extremely hard. They've met the demands of what we've asked of them, and so I think it's very close to time to put these guys out there and let them play.
Looking back, it's week 1. Are you happy with the progress that you've made since the spring?
I am. I think we've, obviously you go from spring to training camp, well, summer, I should say, where the guys have to do a lot of things themselves, and to get them in training camp, I saw a remarkable improvement. And then to get into training camp and really get your hands on them and coach them and make sure that the things that we're trying to accomplish get accomplished, I think our team has done a good job.
Do you anticipate potentially playing more than one quarterback, or do you think I'm going to name a starter and that's going to be the guy that we hold?
I think that's going to be the guy, but there's always potential for things to, happen. As you know, football games, a lot of things happen. So we'll do whatever we feel we need to do to give us the best chance to win the game.
Talking about the quarterbacks there and all, how much of the depth chart is set? I mean, do you have other open positions still? Or?
No, we do. And until I've had a chance to talk to those particular players, I think it's unfair to put that out yet, until I've been able to sit down with our football team and tell everybody where they stand. And I think that's what we're trying to do.
I think he knows by now.
Kids that you maybe had seen on film before you got to Grambling or during the early part that have come out and performed better in practices than what you anticipated?
Well, absolutely. The young quarterback, Julian Calvez, has really impressed me. I mean, he's going to be a sensational player, and he's done a lot of great things. I've watched him, and I look at Taj Martin, one of the young offensive linemen on our offense, done a great job. We have two very talented young runners. that are here in Floyd Chalk and Lamborghini Williams. So we have some guys that when I look and I go, wow, this is impressive. But at the same time, they haven't played a game. You know, they haven't been under the fire, you know, play against their teammates. But we're looking forward to watching these guys compete in the future.
Gave it away because that's kind of one of the guys that I was saying. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like I've been hearing some really good things about him. You know, so I heard that, you know, one of the young receivers over there is kind of like his favorite target or whatever, and he been saying like, yo, like me and him gotta have like a great connection already. So that's real good to hear. So Chavez, yeah, I've been hearing some real good things about him. So I wonder between him and somebody else, I know who that person is.
Arkansas State, obviously a lot of new over there too. How do you prepare? How do you game plan whenever there's not a lot to go back on?
Right, I think it's really about us. You know, my main focus has been about our football team, making sure we do the things that we need to do to put us in the best position to win. Obviously, anything that's a negative, you know, legal procedure, penalties, those things, we got to work against those things and make sure that in all three phases that we're ready to play offensively, defensively, and special teams. When I watch them, they're well coached. They do a great job on defense and offense. So it's going to be a big challenge, but I think we're up to it.
What are some things that you've taken from your time in the NFL and that you've adopted to kind of fit your time here currently?
I think the biggest thing is just how to prepare, you know, how to get a team prepared to play in a game. There's a lot that go into that I think many people know. It's not just roll the ball out there and go play. There's a lot of things you have to make sure that you cross the T's and dot the I's and make sure that your team understands. So it's been a lot of those things that we've done the last few days. We had a mock game here this past weekend, which I thought was really important so our players understand where to go on the field, how we do things in pregame, how we do things before a game. All those things are so important before you play a first game.
I think with a lot of these other guys, right? With South Carolina State, even though the coach had a lot of years of experience, and with Valley State, and with Alabama A&M, I think the one thing that Grambling State has over all those guys who he's preparing to play in FBS team is that he has a lot of NFL experience, especially being in office, used to being not only an offensive coordinator, but an NFL head coach. So he has the inner makings of what it takes to prepare for big games, you know. So I'm definitely waiting to see what he does with this Grambling State team against another opponent with his first year being there. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Most definitely.
I think everything we've done. You know, I don't know what's gone on in the past. You know, what we're doing right now. I think we're creating the right environments for our players to understand the opponent better, to understand how we want to attack the opponent, how we're going to do it offensively, defensively, and special teams wise. I think those things are so important for a football team. And then just really how you travel, how you go about it, how you pack a really good football team on the road. It's a business trip for us, and for guys to understand that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to go take care of business.
There's a lot of emotions for the guys going into week one. How do you prepare them on that side of things?
Well, I think don't make it bigger than what it is, right? It's a game. This is something we all love to do. We all love to compete. And so I think our guys are excited about that. But I think we also have a lot of young players, and they have to understand the moment. You know, we just got to stay in the moment. Don't get outside the moment. Nobody's any different. They put their pants on the same way we do, and so they put their pads on the same way. So we just have to go play.
You talked a little bit about Julian earlier. If you can, kind of take us through the rest of that quarterback room, some stuff that you've seen from them that you've liked up to this point.
Well, I think they're all different, first of all. You know, but when you think of Julian, which I've spoken about, Quintarius Hawkins, I mean, they're older players than Julian, Chance Amy. You know, those guys are older, Amani Gilmore. So those guys have been in the fire a little bit, different places. But Julian doesn't back down from anything, so that's what makes it fun, you know. And again, recruiting a player and a player coming in as a transfer or a portal guy is a little bit different. So I knew exactly what I was getting in him, and I've been very impressed with him. But like I said, impressed with them all because they've all taken the work that myself and Coach Kincaid has put before them, and they've tried to perform. And so I'm happy with the group. Like you said, at some point in time, somebody's going to try it out there first, so they need to know. But at the same time, I think they feel good about where they all are in our system.
Oh, and just to let y'all know, just in case y'all didn't know, so I don't know if y'all remember the quarterback transfer from UCLA, Halloween. He actually doesn't play quarterback anymore. He actually got moved to receiver. So I always thought that was really interesting. Just a fun fact.
Being a coordinator in the NFL, what's been the biggest personal adjustment for you to being a head coach?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of things you deal with. There's this thing called school that you have to make sure you're on top of. And I don't say that lightly. I really take to heart because that's where it all starts, right? For these student athletes, they have to do great in the classroom to even have a chance to be on the field. But that's different, being very honest, because in the National Football League, it's football 24/7. So you have to allow for that kind of time to make sure you know where your team is as far as study hall, school work, those things. And I think it's very, very important. And we've done that, but I know my mind constantly goes to that, you know, making sure guys are eligible on top of the things they need to be doing as far as study hall, their school work, meeting with their academic advisors.
You briefly mentioned the portal. How have you navigated the portal?
I think the portal is obviously giving us a chance to get some better talent on our team. We've been happy about that, but at the same time, I believe you build a program through high school kids, and that's what we're going to do, recruiting. This was our first go at it, but at the same time, I'm excited about where we can go a year from now as far as recruiting is concerned, and we'll make the necessary adjustments.
Okay.
With the whole new coaching staff, how have you guys gelled together as a unit as far as the coaching staff is concerned?
I am really impressed with my coaching staff. That's, to me, that was the first gift for me, is making sure that you have the right men to understand the opportunity that was presented to us. Because it's not easy, let's just be very honest. I mean, there's a lot that come with this. There's a lot of sacrifices that go into coaching, period. So I'm just thankful that the guys here, they've done a great job of gelling together, understanding, you know, what the vision is, and we talk about it a lot and what we're trying to accomplish anytime we go on the football field, and I think we've gotten those things done.
Piggybacking off of that, looking at Coach Simon kind of taking over the offense, I think there's some things you feel like he's done well so far, kind of owning that position.
I think organization. I mean, John is as organized as anybody I've ever been around, so I'm very thankful for that. He's my right hand when it comes to the offense. Obviously, I'm highly involved in that area. You know, my fingerprints are all over, but at the same time, I have to step out of that room. I don't worry about it moving forward because John's done a great job that way.
Good to hear.
For you personally, your first game as a head coach at Grambling, how are you feeling about it?
Excited. I mean, this is the start, you know, and again, what better opportunity to do it than, you know, at Arkansas State against a quality opponent, you know, away from here. We wish we were at home, but we're traveling. So we're excited about walking out there. I know I am, our coaching staff is, and so is our players.
Can't wait for it.
Everybody typically looks at that first game because that's what you got right in front of you, but have you caught yourself kind of looking ahead on the schedule at some of the other opponents, whether it be your SWAC opener or
Of course you have.
match up with Southern or just anybody else?
Of course you have.
We try to take it 1 week at a time. You know, we want to be the
Man, nah, man. Forget that, man. Of course you have. Of course you have. Look, we all know a lot of times, man. Look, as much as you want to win your non-conference games, man, of course you look at the schedule. Of course you looked at your first SWAC opponent, man. Of course you looked at it. You know Jackson State's on the schedule. You know you got to play at the Bayou Classic eventually. You seen it, man. I know it. I know he's trying to be politically correct, man, but you seen it. Come on, man. I know it. I know it. I know you have.
best we can be this week. and do everything we can to win this football game. And so my mind hadn't ventured out anyplace else other than this training camp, making sure our players are ready to go, understanding what we need to do,
Yeah, I know.
how we travel, how we go about doing those things, and doing everything we can to win this game.
I know.
I talk to coaches and players, and they always mention how you talk about trying to be 1% better than you are. Can you explain that?
Well, I think that's what it's all about. You know, as a football team, you want to get better every day. You want to get better every week, get better every month. You know, you want to keep growing and progressing. And I think that's really important. So we do. We asked our guys, are you better today? Did you do something? Did you improve at something today? Because if we do that, you know, those little improvements, it ultimately is going to make our whole football team better.
Any other questions? Thank you.
All right. So, let me say this, man. Now, also, Bethune-Cookman plays Miami Hurricanes this weekend as well. I don't know any other team that's playing against an FBS opponent this weekend, but I know next weekend, I know Southern is playing LSU. I know Norfolk State at some point is playing James Madison. But, yeah, man, look. I know, look, with a lot of these money games, right, we're playing these money games because they can't get support from anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of like the only way they can grab money, they can grab any type of money from anywhere, is to play these money games, to play these games where they know they're not ready to play them, but they have to take them because that's how they're going to make money for the school. And regardless of if it's hurting the image or not, it's almost like you got to pick your poison. Like, yeah, like as much money as you want to make for your school, right? Because look, it got ugly for Alabama A&M last night, and they got to play Troy next week. Bro. So that's going. I don't know how ugly that's going to get, man. But yeah, like a lot of these money games are being played because they can't get the support from anywhere else, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the alumni got to help. And what the thing is, too, you know, we may not see Jackson State play another money game as long as Coach Prime is there. Because he can also support the school. We know he's going to get support from outside, from people from the outside. So we may not see Jackson State play another money game as long as Coach Prime is there. Everybody else, I don't know. They're going to have to follow suit. They're going to have to do something. You know what I'm saying? But I think if, you know, Hugh Jackson could possibly be that next team to get support. But with Tennessee State, they're getting $1 million to play Notre Dame next year, from what I heard. They're getting $1 million to play Notre Dame. And that's some different type of money. I'm like, cause look, FAMU got over $500,000 to play against the Tar Heels. You gonna get $1 million to play against Notre Dame? Yeah, but you gotta make sure you're ready too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. But I hope Grambling State is ready to play tomorrow. Look, I have Grambling winning the West, and it ain't by much. Like I said that the Bayou Classic is going to decide it for me. I think I may have the Bayou Classic as being the deciding factor to win the West. But that's going to be an exciting game, but I'm excited for it. I can't